Have you noticed how people move from one task to another? You have a school run, or you're driving to work, or you're training it to work, you go. Before that, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you get dressed, and if you're getting late, your alarm bell keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. And then you go catch the train, and then you go. And like this, your entire day has gone, and before you know it, it's now time to sleep, it's time to eat, sleep, and then again, this thing keeps going. And in all of this time, you will have experienced so many different feelings, right? Emotions, there will have been so many impressions that have been created and are bearing on you or on your brain. You will have experienced all of this. But little do you know this, and you move from one emotion to another. I'm frustrated, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling irritable, right? I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling sad. But not a moment when you acknowledge and you get to the depths of your feeling, when you're in that rat race, just going from one thing to the other. Very rarely are we aware of our feelings. Very rarely are we going to face our feelings. But when you are on a spiritual awakening path, it is exactly the opposite of this. So that you are unable to move to the next task or whatever else you need to do, right? If there is a doing in your life, without you processing your feelings, without you processing your emotions, because you're bombarded by the environment, you're bombarded with all this highly sensory experience that you're having. And usually, folks, this is when we're still in transition, right? Once we have learned to work with this extrasensory perception, we won't feel this so much so that it takes over us. Yet, at the same time, you're really feeling the fullness of life. Everything, you really feel the depths of it. So, in a spiritual awakening, there is no escape. There is nowhere that you're going to go and then you're going to turn the switch off. So what a person who's not awake would do is that when you finally do get that extra time for you to face your feelings, what you do, your coping mechanism kicks in and you do everything to numb it. So you maybe go out, maybe go and drink, maybe go and do whatever it is that we do to fill our time and our what you call our pastimes. And if we're really exhausted and we've not been doing anything, we might just decide to couch on the sofa. But very, very, very rarely, right, will we then say, right, okay, so how did I feel on Friday? So was that feeling from Friday? Was it from Monday? Was it from Saturday? Was it from this situation? Right? And before you know it, you have gotten older, right, linear time wise, and by this time you're bitter, it's showing on your face, it's showing in your body, it's showing in so many different aspects of your life, right? You've lived, or so you think you've lived, yet you feel that there is a void, yet you feel there's a hole, yet you feel now when there is no more doing left and you're maybe bedridden, or maybe now your body is incapacitated in some way, or you just cannot muster the strength to carry on the doing, right? That's when everything starts to eat at you, and it's never too late. You can still start to address your feelings, but can you see how it'll get even more difficult because you're really excavating? But with the spiritual awakening, you can't escape from it. You've got to face yourself moment to moment, moment to moment, moment to moment, right? It is really easy for us to say, you know what, right now I think I need some intervention. Right now I think I need someone to help, and we go to a community, or we go to a teacher, you go to guidance or somebody, right? It's great. But at the end of the day, right, it's your hollow. You're going to be facing those feelings, right? So the one thing that you can do to show up for yourself every day, right, is give yourself that retrace of what has happened so that you can figure out, why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel psychically attacked? Why do I feel angry all of a sudden when nothing seemingly has happened to alter your mood? Why do I have a ball of anxiety inside of me? Or why am I feeling in this way? So get to the root of why you're feeling. And once you do, you're able to simply transmute them and let it pass by just acknowledging that they're there, right? There is no resistance then that is created, and there is no offshoot of that feeling to manifest in then a thought process, right? That is the danger when we are not facing ourselves on a moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second, when you're not literally facing yourself all of the time, right? You begin to expect life to take a certain turn. And folks, it does, right? It will, because the universe only knows how to say yes to whatever it is that you're putting out there, right? As this is how things ought to be, and so this is how they are. If you expect things to run a certain way, then that's what you're going to receive, right? So as somebody who's now, maybe you're an empath, maybe you're highly sensitive and you're feeling all of these things, right? So you go into a situation or you go into a company or people or whatever it is, and you come out feeling a certain way and you can't shake it off, and you're trying to understand why you're feeling it. When you get to the root of it, right, not only will you able to sort of acknowledge and this feeling will then disappear, but then you will know how not to expect that feeling, and that feeling will not carve out who you are. You won't identify with it, right? So you're not owning these feelings. You notice them, you notice whatever is happening, but you're not solidifying these, then creating an entire belief system, which all then becomes our vibrational frequency. So whilst we are at a higher vibration and we are traversing through and into transition into a fully awakened state, right? You will find that the density will try and pull you back down, right? I will be right back with the same segment to explain why that pulls us back down again. Lots of love. Stay tuned.